Hello, I'm Sarah Jane with Do Yoga With Me, and this is one of 4 classes aimed at alleviating some discomfort that we can feel in the spine when carrying our babies. I hope you enjoy this prenatal yoga practice for the spine. For this prenatal lower back sequence, we'll begin in seated position. So try to find a spot that is quiet and away from it all, even if you need to press pause so that you can have time with just your body and your baby to work on some of those little discomforts. Just pull the muscle away from your bottom so you can waddle back and forth and find your sitting bones. That's the root of your spine. And then you can roll the shoulder blades back towards their tips. And you can take your hands back and beyond the fingertips if you can't quite get your chest open. And then just tuck your chin in a little bit and bow the gaze down towards your belly. If your hands are free, you can take your hands onto your belly. And just begin with consciously breathing. Breathing your baby into your hands on the inhale and feeling the baby gently move away. When pregnant, it sometimes feels difficult to bring lots of breath into the body, so you can deviate away from traditional yoga breathing and just let your mouth open, jaw release, and breathe in through a wide open mouth, really opening your throat. And then exhale to really settle your low ribs. The tension that we carry in our spines and in our hips mostly just comes from not having time in the day to let breath move in and out of the body. So just let the spinal release start with a simple act of making your breath a bit more bountiful, a bit more big. On the inhale and on the exhale, really settling your shoulders down away from the ears. Remembering that all this shifting in the body and any discomfort is just from our babies moving down right where they need to be in the pelvis. And sometimes that can irritate the nerves on our spine, but it's just a brief moment in our life and it will pass. And that today we're taking steps to nourish the body. Soft eyes, soft jaw. Have one more breath all the way out to the very bottom of your lungs. And if you did allow your eyes to close, let them open. Take your hands onto your thighs, and we're just going to begin by slowly awakening the spine. So typically in the run of a day, if you're sitting at a desk or you're walking around town, you're stationary. And so the baby having their head or even sometimes their feet low on the spine can irritate the nerves that extend off the spine. So we're just adding some movement in the form of a sufi grind so that you're not going forward or back, but you're moving around and around. So you're opening up the pelvis and you're also releasing your lumbar back. And throughout this practice, we'll make our way up the spine. You can't fix the lumbar spine unless you pay attention to the other parts of the spine as well. We'll do one more revolution this way. Bring your body to upright. Take your hands on your thighs or down by your sides. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, start to tip your torso in the opposite direction, moving around. And feel free, depending on where you're at in your pregnancy, to really let the weight of your baby and your chest just spill forward. That puts good pressure on the lower back. Don't be afraid of really dropping down and forward. If you have lots of mobility in your spine, then when you make your way back, you can round your spine, just kind of pushing the vertebra out of the back and coming around. You may find it beneficial to let the exhale happen when you roll backwards, just to keep hugging baby into you and around. One more. And then pulling the spine up to straight. Bring your legs around behind you. Bring your knees under your hips. And have your hands slightly in front of your shoulders so as not to irritate any sore joints in the wrist. Hands nice and wide to give your chest lots of space. Knees quite wide to give your hips lots of space. And you're just going to move your hips right and left. And this is where we're really going to work with the breath. A lot of the work that you do in prenatal yoga is aimed at preparing you for labor and birth. So just breathe in through a wide open mouth, and you can breathe out with an audible and we know that when we make low vocal tones, it's very releasing for the body. On your next movement, you're going to swing the hips all the way over to the left and tip so that your left nose is towards your left hip. So we're just stretching a little bit more through the sides of the ribs. You can keep bending your neck as much as you wish, bringing that nose towards the hip to really feel a stretch in the sides of your ribs. One more breath in and one more breath out. And then breathe in as you bring everything back to center. Breathe out as you repeat on the other side. So right hip swings out to the side, right nose moves towards the right hip. And you can continue pushing that right hip out, continue bringing your nose towards that hip crease. Breath in. And maybe that low sound out. And then bring everything back into alignment, breathing in. And then as you breathe out, walk your hands back towards your knees. Coming up into Ustrasana pose, or half camel. We're going to be on the knees for a few minutes, so if you want to grab a blanket to put underneath your knees to just cushion your joints, go ahead and do that now. You're going to just let the belly hang forward, but take the heel of your hands back onto the lower back. So above the fleshy bit of your bottom, but on the little hard knobs at the top of your pelvis on your lower back is where the heel of your hands is going to go. And then you're going to roll your shoulder heads back, elbows are in towards each other. And then just gently tuck your tailbone down as you start to push your hips forward with your hands. You're going to continue pushing the hips forward. You can keep your gaze straight ahead. And we're just going to come into a back bend where you're letting the belly spill forward. But I want you to really focus on hugging your inner thighs towards your midline and taking really long breaths out. So breathing in and breathing out with a feeling your baby move towards your spine. You can let your head drop back if that's been a part of your practice before. Just letting lots of space come into the chest. On your next breath in, you're going to push into your hips. Bring your spine back up ever so slowly. And then as you breathe out, you're just going to sit the bottom back on the heels. Breathing in and catching your breath out. Come back up onto the knees. Bringing the arms up and over the head, palms facing front. So if you're someone who carries a lot of tension in your neck and shoulders, or you have headaches, you can keep one hand on your hip. We're going to breathe in. And as we breathe out, we're going to bring our body over to the side, coming into crescent moon. You're going to breathe in and come up, and breathe out as you come to the other side. And of course, that hand can always be on the hip. We're going to do this dynamically about 8 times, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in as you come up through center and breathing out. And the reason why we're moving in and out of this is to just try to add a little bit of strength into the supporting muscles of your spine. So when we pull up with a breath out, we engage the abdominals and we fire the muscles on our back. So we still have lots of core muscles even though our belly is growing. So we're just trying to target those to support the rest of the pregnancy. We'll do this one more time. And then reach the arms up. So feel like you're getting really tall, reaching out of your spine. It's really easy to feel that you're round and there's no length to your spine. The more your belly grows, the more your body grows. So just reach up towards the ceiling, really reaching the crown of your head up. Breathing in. And then breathing out as you rest the arms back down by your sides. Bring your bum slightly down towards your knees. Slide your hands back out on the mat. This time you're going to lunge forward with your right foot. So sometimes when you lunge while pregnant, your foot doesn't quite come to the top of the mat. So just grab above the ankle bone and just hoist that right foot up. You want to have your knee directly over your ankle and then take your right hand to your right thigh, left hand to left hip. So you're bringing yourself upright. If you're in the first couple trimesters of your pregnancy, you might feel great just staying in this straight line on your mat. But as you become a little bit more bountiful in your pregnancy, you may want to turn your body away from the front knee. So just turning your body away and pivoting your back shin so it's parallel with the short end of the mat. And then either with your hand on your thigh or the elbow right down onto your thigh, you're just going to lean into a lunge. So you're going to bring your knee slightly over your toes and then come back. And then add breath, breathing in as you come forward, breathing out as you come back. In, forward, out, back. So alleviating pressure in the lower back comes from alleviating tension in the pelvis. So we're just widening the pelvis, letting some elasticity come into the pelvis, but not too much, just to try to release through the lower back. We're going to do this twice more. Feel free to make sounds as you lean back, in, out with a good. And then just bring the knee over the hip, both hands down in between the foot and the mat, and then lunge back. Feel free to swing the hips right and left to release any stickiness that came up in the pelvis here. And then do the same on the other side. So you're going to bring your left foot forward. If it doesn't quite make it, give it a hand up towards the top of the mat, bringing your torso up over your hips, elbow onto the knee or hand on the thigh if you need to. Turn that back shin so it's parallel with the mat if you need lots more space for your baby. And we're just going to lean forward so the knee comes slightly in front of the ankle and then push back. And some of you are going to feel this in your groins. As long as you're not feeling any sharp pain, any tingling in the back, this is perfectly safe, and we're just looking at creating lots of space across the front of the pelvis to give baby more room, which can tend to get them off of your lower back and your spine, which is part of the discomfort as babies grow and as bellies grow. We're going to do this twice more. Inhale as you just lean in, feel that opening. Exhale as you lean back. Inhale forward, exhale back, and then just let your hands come down onto the mat and just pivot the front foot to the back of the mat and then swing the hips to the right and to the left. And you're just hammocking baby, and believe it or not, this takes a lot of pressure off of your spine when you just let the baby hammock down and away. Walk your hands back towards you, swing your shins around to come into cross-legged position. And if you notice that you have a particular side of your back that's a little bit more sore than the other, then that's the leg that you're going to cross in front. That's going to create more of a stretch on that side of your back. For now, you're going to take your hand down to the ankle that's in front, and then you're going to take your opposite arm and just bring it out so it's about shoulder height, palm facing front so that you get nice and open across the chest. You're going to keep holding on to the ankle and breathe in to just pull your belly up and forward, chest open. And then as you breathe out, you're going to hug your baby to your spine and rotate back. Inhale as you bring your arm across your body, and then exhale back. So initially we're going to start with just using the core. So exhaling on your effort. For one more, inhaling across, exhaling back. And now we're going to change the breath. So bring the arm across your body as you exhale, and then inhale as you open up across the spine. Exhale, reach across until you feel a stretch across your mid-upper back, And then inhale as you open up belly, open up chest. Exhaling to rotate, inhaling across. And that hand is on the ankle just as a lever. And this is our last one, so exhaling across. Inhaling, pull up and rotate out. Take your hand down. Uncross and cross on the other side. Hand to the front ankle, other arm out to the side. Just being careful not to rotate in or shoulder up to the ear so as to compress the neck. Keep lots of space between the shoulder and the neck. Reach the arm out to the side as you come into an exhale, and then inhale across your body. Exhale, inhale. And on your exhale, you want to feel your belly is moving towards your spine. So if you don't have a lot of awareness around your core, then just focus on a long out breath. And inhale. And now we're going to change the breath. So as you open up the arm, you're going to inhale, open up the chest and belly, and then exhale, reach across. And just feel how this creates lots of space in the front of your body, but how it challenges the spine to twist and rotate with your arm movement. And baby's just going along for the ride. This is our last one. Inhale, open right out of the spine, and then exhale across your body. From here, you're going to ease yourself down onto your back just for a moment. Sometimes you can start to feel uncomfortable on your back the more pregnant you become. So we're just going down onto the back to get into this position, and then you'll feel relief as soon as you roll onto your side. So walking your hands down, you can also come onto your side and then onto your back. Lie down onto the back. You can put a pillow underneath your head if you like. And we're going to bring the knees into the chest. You can have your knees as wide apart as you like, so there's lots of space for baby. And extend your arms out to the side. You're going to drop your legs over to the right. And because sometimes the belly's quite big and the thighs can feel like they're moving into the belly, you're actually going to straighten both of your legs. And when you extend out your legs, you'll notice that now you've got a lot more space for your belly. But if you feel like there's not enough relief, just move your feet a little bit more away from you, your legs a bit more away from belly. Your chest is open with the arms extending out to the side, or you're more than welcome to take your opposite arm up alongside your ear and turn your gaze in the opposite direction to your legs. And just enjoy that feeling of the back of your heart on the earth. Enjoy the feeling of the side, the top leg, and the side of the hip opening up. If you're not quite feeling it and you had a lot of flexibility going into the pregnancy, you can go ahead and grab hold of the pinky toe side of that top leg and really get into your iliotibial band, or that sensitive spot along the leg that connects into the lower back. We'll be here for one more breath in, one more releasing breath out. Don't be afraid to make sounds, just to release the body. And then turn your gaze back up. Bring your knees side by side and just ever so gently start to walk your feet back to center, temporarily on the back as we bring the knees in towards the chest, knees nice and wide to make space for baby, and then dropping over to the opposite corner, and then extending the legs out. So you're feeling that one hip is stacked on top of the other. The opposite arm can extend up long alongside the ear, and you can roll your head over to the side. Starting to feel those sensations in the lower back again. And if you're not quite feeling them along the meridians of the outside of your top leg, you can reach up, grab hold of the ankle, the foot, and really try to press that leg straight. And then back into the breathing. So much of the tension that we carry is manifested in the form of hip tension, back tension. So just alleviating any anxiety, any stress by allowing audible breaths out. Very different from that structured type breathing that exercise can get us accustomed to. Just long, slow, low breath. That's all you and your baby need right now. On your next breath in, bring your gaze up towards the ceiling. Bring both knees into a bend. Place your feet on the floor to walk your knees back up to center. Bring your arms out to the side. Let your knees just gently drop to the right and left, windshield wipering your legs, just giving a nice rotation to your pelvis. Go ahead and let your knees drop to the right and to the left to alleviate any last bits of tension that you're feeling in the lower back. And we're going to come into a resting position on our left side. So roll yourself all the way onto the left, lying on the left arm. And you can keep the right hand on the floor in front of you to push yourself up if you need to get some pillows or blankets. If you find that your pelvis feels quite squished, your baby feels quite squished, you can put some blankets or a pillow between the thighs. And you can also let your right leg come slightly forward into what's called a side lying release and extend out your left leg to really release the lower lumbar spine. The right hand can be on baby or back on the ground. Take your time getting into the most ideal position for you and your body. And come into Shavasana. Breathing slowly and without effort, even more so now. Feeling how your belly drops to the left. Feeling all that pressure leaving the spine of carrying around your baby all day. And just really enjoying the rest. And also remembering that this is just a moment in your life, that babies need to move down, babies need to grow, and while that can create discomfort in the neck and the spine, it's a moment in our life, and every moment passes. Just focusing on a breath in and a breath out for now. And if your mind begins to wander, focus on breathing into the fronts, sides, and back of your ribs. Just breathing with conscious awareness. And if your mind wandered, bring it back to breathing in fully to the front sides and the backs of the ribs, right into that spine and out. And then press into your right hand. Slowly guide yourself up to seated position. Feeling free to sit up on a pillow or elevate your hips in whatever way you need to, even sitting in a chair if need be. Taking one hand to belly and one hand to your chest so you can feel the lungs breathing and the belly expanding. Breathing in and out. On your next breath out, focus on hugging the baby to the spine to really engage your core, which will give you an awareness of engaging it whenever you're bending to lift up another little one or walking down the street. Just to support all the changes happening in your body. And then keeping the hand to the chest and to the belly today, just breathing in. As you breathe out, bow the gaze. Saying an audible namaste or just a quiet namaste to yourself. And then to the growing life inside of you. Namaste.